Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight? I guess everybody's muted still. It's
Doing
okay.
great. How are you?
Doing good, sir. Doing good. Awesome. Well, Mr. Frank Filipponi will not be on tonight, and if my service starts acting up, please let me know. I'm in the middle of nowhere in Kentucky right now, so if you ever watched that movie, The Hills Got Eyes, that's kind of like where I'm at, something like that. So let me see who's all on real quick. Get an idea.
So I can't see your video. Is that just me or is that everybody else?
That's everybody. That's just you, whoever that was.
All right, I'm going to drop off and come back in then.
William, just slide over and you probably will be able to see it if you're on your phone. Sweet. Awesome, guys. I wanted to talk about some of the things during the launch process tonight, because I feel like a lot of people has been messaging me here lately about launch parties and things like that. And I think it's very important for you to get out of your comfort zone to really get out and meet with your team and actually help them get into action. And what I mean by that, where I have a lot of people message me and they're like, what's the next step? What do I do? And I'm like, well, have you launched them? Like, yes, I've launched them. Well, have you helped them get into action? And they're like, what do you mean? Have you gone through the scripts with them? I'm like, no, I give them the scripts and I tell them what to say and what to do, but they don't go through the action steps with them. And I don't know about you, but what I've been able to notice in the years that I've been in the industry of network marketing, as soon as I get off that Zoom or as soon as I leave their side, they don't send out any messages anymore. Majority of the time. It's very easy. It's something that's so easy to do, but also easy not to do. And we've been all guilty. Like season 4 of Yellowstone came out last night. Some of us watched that instead of sending out messages. Some of us, kind of get carried away watching the football game or whatever it may be. It's really easy not to send out messages, even when you have nothing to do, even if it's code marketing scripts to Instagram or Facebook, or even trying to get creative with TikTok and Instagram Reels. It's really easy to get distracted from the purpose of what we're trying to accomplish here in Q Sciences. And once you let off the gas pedal, everything else slows down too as well. And the most important thing that I can really emphasize the most is having a heart burning desire, having a work ethic, having a huge why. People real quick, if you don't mind. Give me some people out real quick. Give me 1 second. A lot of background. Give me 1 second. All right. It seems like everybody's muted now. There we go. And the most important thing is having a hot burning desire, having a no quit mentality, having being coachable. Because like I said earlier, what's so easy to do is also easy not to do. We get distracted. And so like, I really want you to remember why you got started in the first place. Like, what's the reason why you get started? And I don't want it to be really about money, to be honest with you, because there's so many things that we can do on a daily basis to make money. Mowing a yard, picking up cans, cut down a tree for somebody. I mean, there's so many. I'm just giving you hypothetical examples. There's so many things that creative ways we can do to make money. So why aren't we doing it? It's because that's something we might not want to do it, or it's not give us any passion, or doesn't drive us to want to go do that. So you can't say there's no opportunity out there, because there is opportunity. It's just the fact, how bad do you really want it? And so what is the real reason why that you're doing this business? And a lot of you have heard me say it before, the compound effect by Darren Hardy. I used to own and publish Success from Home magazine. And I had dinner with him roughly was about 8 years ago in North Carolina. And he talked about this theory. And he said, what if, Brandon, there was a plank that's 100 feet in length and 6 inches in width? And I asked you to walk this plank. Let's say I give each and every one of you $20 to walk this plank. No big deal. You lose your balance, you step off, you get right back on, and you continue walking on the plank. It's not that big of a deal. But what if I told you I put that plank in the 2 tallest buildings in Dallas, Texas? That's 100 stories up in the air or even bigger. And I put that plank now that's 6 inches in width and 100 feet in length. And I asked you to walk it for $20 now. Majority of you would say, no, I'm not going to do it because my life is worth way more than $20 because the circumstance have changed. Maybe you're scared of heights. Maybe you have anxiety. Maybe it's windy. Maybe it's stormy. Whatever it may be, that you're 100 stories up in the air now. Like if you lose your balance, you will fall to your death. And it's not worth $20. But what if I told you 20,000 or 50,000 or 100,000? Now you might start to think about it, but still my life is way more important than that. $250,000, $500,000. Like, okay, Brandon, that's a lot of money. That can change my life. I might just crawl over and hug the plank and crawl over and put as much cash as I possibly can into my shirt and crawl back. Now you're thinking of ideas and strategies. But what if I told you this? What if you're sitting on the other side of that plank and the person you can't live without, the person that if you lost them today and you never got to see them again, ever, you'd be so devastated. What if it could be your spouse, it can be your kids, it can be your mom and dad, whoever's the closest to you. What if that person is on the side of that plank and that building's about to crash? That building's on fire. I guarantee you, true or not true, that you don't blink. I bet you don't even take another breath. I bet you sprint over there, guide them back and carry them back. And if you had to think about that, I'm glad I'm not related to you. But more of the story is money will only motivate you so long. It's the reason why you do the business will motivate you for a lifetime. So what is the real reason you're doing this? So don't be driven by money because I just proved a point that money is things that we have to think about or strategize. But in network marketing, it's not about who overthinks the process because they're the ones that usually don't win. And I always tell people that if you're really smart and you're so smart, you'll start to be analytical on things and you over process the process itself. You just got to run with it. Trial and error, earn and learn as you go. And you learn from your mistakes and you keep building and building and building and building. Because at the end of the day, you don't have to be the perfect presenter in this business. You don't have to be the best launcher. You just got to be passionate and excited. Like if you notice majority of the time when I talk, like I'm just excited. I'm passionate about what I'm doing. Why? Because people vibe off that energy. Like you can control the frequency of the tone of other people's voice by how you act. And I'm sorry if my excitement annoys you. I'm sorry if you think I'm loud and obnoxious. I've made over $12 million in the last 8 years doing this. And I'm not the best. I'm just always excited. And I saw a person that's made a lot of money that wasn't really good either. And she was just really excited all the time. And she started making a lot of money. I was like, I'm just going to mimic her. I'm going to do exactly what she does. I might not be the best presenter. I might not be the best launcher. I might not be the best anything, but I'm just going to be super excited. And people are contagious to that. Because if you ever been to a party where one side of the party is boring and this part over here, they're having so much fun and they're laughing, where do you go? To the fun side. Same thing in everything else. When you walk in a room and somebody sees you that knows you, do they smile? Do they kind of smirk? Do they come running to you? Their expressions and the way they react when they first see you should tell you everything about on what they think of you. It's so crazy because do you light up the room when you walk in or do you darken it? Like that's the thing that I love about this business is I can truly inspire and help other people. So who's your core 5? Who's the people that you want to reach out to the most? I always try to tell people who's your ride or dies. These are the 5 people you can call up no matter what, and they'll be there for you. Then you have your top 5 influencers, people that you want to do business with that own businesses, and then top 5 people that live in an international market. So you got your closest ride and die friends, your top 5 business owners that you want to do business with, and top 5 people that you know international. Now, Brandon, I don't really know that many people international. I don't know that many people that own businesses. That's okay too as well. We'll go down the list. And then like, well, Brandon, I really don't have a warm market. I already ran through my warm market. Okay. Start using some of the cold market strips through Instagram hashtags and things like that. Hey, Ronnie, I know we don't know each other. I see that you're from Wills Point, Texas. I don't know if you're open or not, but I'm actually opening my online business in that area. I would love to share with you what I'm doing. If not, no big deal. Like there's so many creative ways that you can outreach people by hashtagging, let's say Dallas, Texas fitness or Texas fitness. I did this the other day and I signed up a guy and it was a hashtag called Texas fitness. Leg day, arm day, dad bod, whatever it may be. If you're targeting a city or city with fitness, because I targeted this person, I said Texas fitness. And this person hashtagged, and I messaged him, and his name was Ronnie. No, his name's not Ronnie. I was looking at Ronnie when I said that. His name is Jacob. Sorry. I was looking at Ronnie when I said that. Jacob. And I said, hey, Jacob, I know we don't know each other. I'm expanding my health and wellness company in the Texas marketplace. I see you're big into fitness because he hashtag fitness, he had a lot of workout stuff. I would love to share with you what I'm doing online. If not, no big deal. And he said, sure, yes, hit me with them. I'm like, when's a good time to jump on a call? We jumped on a call. I explained to him what I was doing. He's like, man, I love your energy. I really don't understand everything you're doing, but your energy was amazing. Like I got excited just off your excitement. And he signed up. And so more of the story is, what are you doing on a daily basis that's in bringing activities? Some of us are going through Facebook and liking and commenting stuff, but are we really sending out messages? Because every night when I'm laying down in bed, I send out at least 20 messages, 100 messages a week, every single day, at least 20 messages on Instagram. And I'll hashtag different cities that I want to target. If I'm targeting a city, like say Dallas, Texas, and let's say I'm using Ronnie, for example. I'm like, hey, Ronnie, I see you're in Dallas, Texas. I'm expanding my company in the area. Would love to show you what I'm doing. I'm like, hey, Ronnie, I know we don't know each other. I see you're in Dallas, Texas. I'm expanding my company in Dallas, Texas. I would love to share with you what I'm doing. If not, no big deal. Very simple to the point. Like, are you figuring out resources and strategies and ideas to outreach people, to reach out to people outside of your own network too as well? Because you never know. For instance, you've probably seen Mr. Porter actually on these calls before from the UK. He actually was recruited from a cold market script from Christian Adams, and he's a Ruby in the company. Like, and that was just a cold market script that Miss Adams did. And I was teaching her how to do that to outreach to other people in other markets. And we were launching in the UK, and she started using the cold market scripts, and she signed up somebody from the UK. So you never know who's looking for an opportunity. You never know where the timing might just be right. And if they say no, that's okay. You planted a seed. Still follow, still like, still comment, still engage, because then they'll start following you and engaging in your stuff and seeing what you're doing. Another thing comes, are you actively posting on your social media at least 6 to 8 times in your stories every single day? Brandon, I don't mess with that stuff. I didn't either, to be honest with you. It doesn't have to be necessarily Q related. It can be things that you're doing on a daily basis. Going to the grocery store, working out in the yard, mowing the yard. It doesn't matter. As long as you're getting people engaged. And the reason why I say that is because every time you post on your story, what does that do? That moves you to the front. That moves you to the front. That moves you to the front. And people are seeing it, because I'm going to be honest with you, I only click on the first 3 or 4 stories and that's it. I don't go through everybody's story. I just don't. And I see a certain amount of people that are always at the front because they're always uploading stuff all the time. So are you engaging with your people? Are you commenting in your people? Are you going through your birthday? This is another great way to filter through your friends on Facebook and social media. There's a little icon that pops up and tells you whose birthdays it is. Are you personally messaging them and saying happy birthday, or are you just posting on their wall? Private message them and tell them happy birthday. And if their bubble shows up and they don't respond, defriend them. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. What do you mean, Brandon? You defriend people? Yes. If they don't respond to me in 24 hours and that bubble shows up, they don't have enough respect for me to respond to me by me saying happy birthday to them, and I wrote a personalized message to them, I defriend them. Like, plain and simple, because the people that care about my personal message will actually reply back. Anybody that tells me happy birthday, I go out of my way all day and respond to every single one of them, because they took time out of their day to tell me happy birthday on my special day. I'm going on my way to tell them thank you. 100%. And I'm going to be honest with you. I treat social media as a business. I'm not on social media for society. I'm not on social media to try to get more followers, for more people to like me. No, it's a straight platform for business for me. So if I befriend somebody, I'm sorry. Like, it's for business. We can be friends. You can have my phone number. We can talk outside of it. But social media is my business platform. So don't be afraid to delete somebody. Don't be afraid to unfriend somebody that doesn't support you. Like, it's okay, guys. I befriend people all the time. It is what it is. That's my business platform. Now, the biggest thing is, as we're going through this launch process and we start going through the scripts and everything else, remember, less is always better. Don't try to give them the whole preview of the movie here in Q Sciences of what we're doing. A little bit of information and get the experts on the call for you. Okay. This is the biggest thing. Now, after going through the launch process, are you helping your people send out messages? For instance, I'm gonna pick on Ronnie now here again. So when you're going through that process, you need to sit down and say, Ronnie's a new ambassador. Signs up. All right, Ronnie, we've gone through the launch process. Now, what I would love to do with you is what my mentor did with me. Is it okay? I'm sure you trust me. Yes. Okay, cool. Perfect. My mentor did this next steps with me, and I want to help you because it's set me up for success. We need to pull up your Facebook. We need to go to your messages. And all we're going to do is we're going to send out about 30 to 40 messages. And all we're going to do is, hey, Ronnie, how are you doing? Hey, Dr. Freddie, how are you doing? Hey, Brock, how are you doing? We're going to simply just keep sending out messages. Hey, Brian, how are you doing? Hey, Michael, how are you doing? Hey, Robert, how are you doing? And we're going to continue to do that process. Because what is your natural response when somebody asks you, how are you doing? I'm doing great. How about you? I'm doing good. What about yourself? I'm doing amazing. How about, it's a common response every single time. So I want to control the conversation with people. I don't want to use scripts where I'm screenshotting and sending to my upliner or whoever I'm working with and saying, hey, how do I respond to this? Well, what do I say back to this? No, I want to control the conversation. That's why we use these certain scripts. Then in return, I'm doing amazing, Brian. Mr. Colucci, I'm doing amazing. Kids are growing up so fast. But hey, I wanted to reach out to you, and I don't know if you're open or not, but I've been working on something really big, and I'd love to share with you. And if you really want to do it the right way, you'll leave an audio and say that because they can hear the excitement in your voice. Be excited. You can practice over and over and over. If you don't like it, you need to delete. Don't matter. But if you're scared, type it out. But I like for people to hear my excitement, so I'll do the voice recording. And they're going to say 95% of the time, sure, yes. What is it? What do you got? Hit me with it, or whatever it may be. And then literally, I'm going to say, when's a good time to talk? Very simple. They're going to let me know. Okay. Bernard's going to let me know. Who's going to let, William will let me know, or Doug will let me know, Jeff will let me know. They're going to say, I'm free tomorrow at 7, or I'm free tomorrow at 4, or I'm free later on this evening. I'm not going to respond back. I'm going to get with my upline leader and say simply, hey, I have a friend that's interested in checking out the information. Are you free at 7 p.m. tomorrow, or 4 p.m. tomorrow, or later on this evening? And if they are, great. If they're not, once a few times that you are available, get a few time slots, 2 or 3, and literally get them time slots and send them to that person. Say, hey, unfortunately, not available at that time, but I am available at these times. Let me know what time works best for you. Lock in a time, get on. Mr. Bryan Colucci is actually on the call. He's one of my prospects. I have Mr. Frank Filipponi as my upliner, my leader that's going to be helping me do the presentation or a 3-way call. Mr. Colucci, man, thank you so much for taking time out today. I know how important it is for you. I want to be very respectful of your time. I actually have my business partner, Mr. Frank Filipponi, on the call. Very successful individual, has done a lot of great things. He's actually taken me under his wing. And I'm very lucky and very blessed to even have this man in my life. And man, it's just a blessing for him to take time out of his day because he's very busy. So I want to be very respectful of his time too, as well, because he's helped so many people around the world. And I wanted him to share everything in detail because I know that you'll be as excited as I was excited when I first heard it. And I know y'all would really hit it off. So Mr. Bryan Colucci, this is Mr. Frank Filipponi. Mr. Frank Filipponi, this is Mr. Bryan Colucci. Boom, take it over. Let them go. And then sometimes I would like to edify Mr. Colucci too as well. Just because of the fact is I want him to feel good about himself. Because when people are getting edified or talked about in a positive way, a lot of times it makes you feel a certain way. Or when somebody compliments you on your hat or your shirt or your truck or whatever it may be, it doesn't matter. They just get a compliment. It makes you feel a certain way. Like, let's be honest, guys. Like when your wife or your spouse, I mean, whatever, I say spouse because you never know nowadays, or whatever. If they compliment you, say, man, you look good today. You look sexy today. Oh my gosh, man. Like it makes you feel good. Like, does it not? Like when my wife comes in, like, man, you're so freaking hot. My self-confidence goes up. I'm going to be honest with you. It makes me feel a certain way. So when we compliment somebody, it makes their self-confidence go, makes them feel good about it. And honestly, the endorphins are released. Like people love that stuff. So you always want to make sure that you're showing edification. See, people will die for edification, but they'll live for a paycheck. It's crazy. Let me just rephrase that. People will die for recognition, but they'll live for a paycheck. It happens all the time. And so like if you can never not give enough recognition to somebody. If somebody gets a customer, shout them out. Somebody gets an ambassador, shout them out. If somebody gets a confirmed appointment for a prospect, man, give them a shout out and congratulate them. Like it's crazy, like how much recognition we will like drive for. It's just crazy when we hear our names and recognition, things like that. But at the end of the day, I think we overthink this process. And we overthink, well, what book should I be reading? What should I be doing? It doesn't matter how many books you read, guys, if you don't take action. It doesn't matter. I'm about to tell you something that I never told anybody on a call ever before. And hopefully this won't think differently of this. I've never finished a book. I've never finished one book. Never have. I just haven't. I've read in and out of books and everything else, but I've never really finished a book. Because at the end of the day, you can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't have no action, it doesn't matter. I've learned more from trial and error than reading books. It's actually getting in the trenches and learning the hard way and failing. But what they say is failing itself is the attempt of trying. Like you got to just try. You just got to do it. You win some and you learn some. At the end of the day, if I get a no, or somebody tells me it's a learning experience, what could I have done differently from that experience of them telling me no? Record all your presentations. Send them to your leader. Let them review it. See what you've done wrong. Let them see your messages. Like let you really dig deep, because like at the end of the day, the solution is not talking to more people. It's figuring out what you're doing wrong. So when we do talk to more people, we can get more of them into the business or as a customer, because a lot of network marketers will say, you just need to talk to more people. You just need to talk to more people. That's not the solution. Because if that is, like, then what are we doing with the rest of the people that we're missing out? We're verbally vomiting all over them, or we're doing something wrong. So at the end of the day, when in doubt, just keep it simple. We tend to overthink it. Do the scripts, peek and pass. Do the scripts, peek and pass. It's very simple. Now, I want to open it up for a few questions on the launch process, or if you have any questions on the launch process, and then we'll end this call, because I know it's a short notice. I thought Mr. Frank Filipponi will be covering the call tonight, but he kind of put me on the spot, so no big deal. I love Frank. So if you have any questions, go ahead and unmute yourself, and if not, then we'll end the call.
Hey, Brandon.
Hey, Bernard, how are you doing, sir?
Doing good, sir. Thanks. I did have one question, and it's kind of maybe not so much related to the launch, but like I've been trying to understand follow-up, and if you could talk to us real quick about, having somebody, seen, the business, and then we've shared with them, and just getting that follow-up and maybe some tips.
That's a great question. If it depending on the person itself, is what type of quality person. If it's a person that you really, really, really want in your business, like for instance, Frank and Marielle, I built a relationship with them for over 2.5 years, and then we finally did business together. I was constantly messaging Miss Marielle every month off of a post or commenting on posts and screenshotting, saying like, oh my gosh, where's this at? I love it. This is amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous. It's like you're living the life, and literally just engaging constantly with them. I really building a rapport. Now, I really wasn't aggressive with them. It was more just fellow engaged with them. Now, let me give you an example. Mr. David Nieves, a guy that I signed up, they hit silver in his first 30 days. I've been trying to recruit him for the last 3.5 years. So every time a new product come out, I would send it to him. I would go have lunch with him. I would go have breakfast with him. I would have him out, and we would even talk about business. We just talk about family and being around with him, but I always gave him extra products. And when he brought up Q Sciences, that's when I started bringing up things. More importantly, it's not about more of the follow-up, it's engaging with him after that. Because at the end of the day, if you're constantly like, hey man, we need to do this, and they've already kind of shrugged you off once, you're like a pest salesperson, just constantly nagging. And I don't want to do that. But I constantly want to be engaging with them, because the more I engage with them, the more my stories will show up. Have you noticed the people that you comment on the most and like the most, you see their stories the most in the newsfeed? And there's people in your social media that you don't comment and post as much, and they don't show up in your newsfeed as much. Well, Facebook recognizes that. And they recognize things like that. And so when they see that, they will make sure theirs are the top of the list in your algorithm of showing up first. So if you're liking and commenting on their posts, that means your stuff's going to show up on their newsfeed too as well, constantly. That's why it's so important to be posting in your stories too, 6 to 8 times a day. So it's like a drip campaign. You're constantly dripping on them all the time. That's why it's so important to constantly, even if it's something pointless, I'm cooking food, you clean the house, I don't care what it is, post it. Post it. So hopefully that helps. But more importantly, if you just want to be straight to the point, after they've been checking out the information, or like, hey, I wanted to follow up with you, see what your thoughts were, and get back with you. If they don't respond, it's okay. Hey, it's okay. You don't have to respond if you don't do it. We can keep it real and stay friends. Just be transparent with it, honest with them. Like, hey, if you don't want to do this, no big deal. Keep dripping on them. Keep dripping, because maybe they just need to see you succeed. Maybe they just need to see you win. Because I've had people literally that just signed up recently that said, hey, I'm sick and tired of watching you. I want to be a part of whatever you're doing. I've seen it unveil the last 8.5 years of what you've been able to accomplish. I want to be a part of it. I don't care what it is. I want to do it. So people are watching. I'm gonna be honest with you. When's the last time you saw somebody join a company and then 3 months later, you never see them post about it again? That happens all the time. So that's people's mentality. Like, oh, it's a fling. They'll be doing it for 3 months and they'll be out, because nobody has long-term vision no more. Everybody has that instant gratification. They're not worrying about 10 years from now or 5 years now. They're worried about right now, in the moment, what they want. They want right now. They don't see the vision long-term here. And that's the issue. In a lot of these companies, a lot of people get discouraged because we're all about the instant gratification of right now. Go to work for an hour, get paid for what? Now go to work for a week, get paid for what? Week. Don't go to work, don't get paid. We want right now results instead of long-term results. And like I've said it before, and you've heard it, my first check in my first 90 days in MLM was $13. Like $13, 90 days, $13. That's tough. I know a lot of you on this call has made more than $13 in 90 days. I looked at it as a positive. We're like, hey, it can only grow from here. It's only going to get better from here. So that's a great question. Hopefully that answered it for you.
Thank you, sir.
Any other question, guys, before we jump off? Don't all speak at once. And let's call, I'm going to be with Mr. Jake Spencer and Mr. Mark Williams. How are we liking the men's groups and everything else? Everybody love it. Everybody's effective. Everybody loves the men's groups and everything. So getting some great information. Good. The gauntlet, the men's gauntlet's great. Hopefully you're all participating in that too as well. That's something that's really something we can get really passionate about and back. Guys, we can really do something big here. Like Jake wants to help us men really strive in Q Sciences, but we got to make a pledge to ourselves. Like, let's go out and just get 2 ambassadors this month. Like, let's really make a pledge this month right now. If you can get more, great. But let's make a pledge, all of us. I'll even make a pledge with you. I'm going to go out and get 2 ambassadors this month. I'm going to go out and get 2 customers this month. Let's make a pledge. And you continue that process. And I'm going to send it. I'm going to send it in the men's chat. Okay. If you just went out and got 2, every month, and you help them to get there too, and it compounded over 12 months. I'm about to show you what it's about to do. You're about to be blown away. The power of two, and you can already be crowned diamond. Just the power of two. So go out there and make a pledge that I'm going to do everything in my power to get 2 people, and go back to your why and write that down and plaster on your bathroom sink mirror. So when you wake up every morning, you realize what you're doing this for. And then when you go to bed, you're going to bed knowing what you're doing this for, and it's going to motivate you every single day. Like, don't forget why you got started in the first place. Even when the mood has already left you, stay focused, stay passionate, guys. Like, I'm being honest with you. Like, it's worth it at the end. It really is. There's times where I'm like, man, I should take a break. No, my team needs me. They didn't buy into Q. They bought into me. There's going to be people that's going to join you. They didn't join Q. They joined you because they believe that you can take them somewhere. So what is the biggest thing that somebody wants from an upline? To lead them. So go lead them. Go help them. But sometimes the best help is no help at all if they don't want to be helped the right way. So you show them the tools, you show them exactly what to do. And if they don't want to do it, that's on them. So don't get discouraged. My team is quitting. Well, did they ever get started in the first place? Did they really get launched the right way in the first place? Did they really do exactly what they told you to do in the first place? They didn't. Don't get discouraged. It's okay. It's a numbers game. You only need 3 people and 1 in each line to really be coachable and do the system the right way, and you're off to the races. So, and I don't know if I should be saying this on this recording, and I might even get in trouble. So I don't even know if I'm going to post this recording or not. Let me see who's all on here first. Okay. I think we're going to be good. Okay. But if I was y'all, a little birdie told me the other day, you might want to get more customers because we might have an opportunity to hit ranks. Well, we are going to have an opportunity, not might. We are going to have an opportunity to hit ranks with our customers. So we're going to have our team building customers. Our team building rank and our customer rank. So you can actually hit elite and make $750 a month, just like an elite, like a team ambassador. How crazy is that? Now, don't go be publishing that. Jake Spencer will get mad at me. Okay. Don't go post that on social media. Oh, we got customer ranks coming and everything else, because y'all are the first to hear about this. And it's probably going to happen before this year's over with. So get ready. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. So yeah, lips are sealed, please. But it's about to be exciting time. So for instance, make sure you're going out and getting customers. Make sure you're pushing the product. Make sure you're pushing the opportunity, because I think we're gonna end with the bang in 2021. It's gonna be exciting times. So, any other questions before we jump off? I'll take one more if we have one more question. If not, we'll call it. Make this call come to an end. Anybody else?
What's your schedule like this week for jumping on calls? If anybody in this group
Yes.
needs
So
somebody.
Tuesday. Let me look. We're gonna fly back out because I'm in Kentucky right now on a retreat, and then I have to go to Vegas Saturday. I get back Monday night or Tuesday, and then Wednesday I fly to Silver Summit. Then we have the regional Saturday. I'm like, dude. So I have Monday night and Tuesday, all day Tuesday. So that's my 2 days. I know it's not a lot. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna go a lot. Oh man, life of a diamond. Hey, the money's good though. I'm not complaining. So teams are all over the place. So it's great. So I'm on the East Coast, well, Eastern time zone now. Then I'll be in Pacific time, then Mountain time, then Central time. So a little bit all over the place, United States. But yes, Monday evening and Tuesday, if any of y'all need time for 3-way calls or Zooms, let me know and I can jump on them 100%. Okay. I'm going to post in the group the power of 2 just here in a little bit. I want you to really take that consideration. Like, please take the pledge. 2 ambassadors, 2 customers before this month's over with, and then help them do the exact same thing and watch your business explode. Don't overthink it. Don't think you need to recruit 10 people, 20 people. This compensation plan is built to help duplicate your way to the top, not recruit your way to the top. And compensation plans are built and developed to determine the behavior of the field. That's what I love about Q, because you don't have to be that person that's a monster recruiter. You can make it to the top by just developing people. And how you develop people is you lead them, and you lead them into action by following the scripts, because most of the time they were too scared to send out the messages. I was scared when I first started. I'm sure a lot of you were too as well. You were hesitant. You were confused. You were scared of what people were going to think of you. You were afraid that people might judge you, or would these scripts actually work on my people? Just send them. Let them make that decision for themselves. At the end of the day, let them make that decision for themselves. You did what you're supposed to do. You played your part. If you're my friend and you found an opportunity to help change the world and make a difference in other people's lives and make extra income, and you didn't share it with me, I'm going to be upset as a friend. I'm going to be upset. Well, I don't know if you would be interested. Who cares? Why are you thinking for me? How do you know if I'm not interested or not? Guys, at the end of the day, just share it. I've shared it with people that wasn't interested, but I told them, I was like, hey, I didn't want to make the decision for you. And I didn't want you to be upset at me. And this is my close friends. I didn't want you to be upset at me for me not showing it to you. So I want to share it with you. Well, I'm not interested. Well, let me still share it with you. And then you can make that decision. Or if you're scared to even do that, I even got to the point where I say, hey, Ronnie, I got a big presentation coming up tomorrow. Man, can I practice on you? And you tell me how I do? Sure. All right. Let me give a presentation to Ronnie now. Ronnie, how'd I do? How'd you like it? Great. I like it. Perfect. You want to do it too? There's so many creative ways that you can do this business, guys. We just try to overthink it too much. Like, you think you have to know all the science on the product. You think you have to know that. You have to be a Dr. Freddie. No, like, you don't have to do that. We use Dr. Freddie for resources. We use Ann Billings for resources and things like that when we need it, when we're talking to other doctors and stuff like that. But the average person, it's too much for them. And when they're confused, what does confused people do? Nothing. Simplicity is key, guys. Simplicity is key. You heard Mr. Jake Spencer talk about on the Q Science News of the day. He gets people up in front of the room at Silver Summit and literally makes them go over a slide in 30 seconds or less, explaining it. You should not be giving over 10-minute presentations, 20-minute presentations. It shouldn't happen. Less is always better, guys. I'm telling you right now. And if they want more information on the product, we give it to them. They want more on the company, we give it to them. Just a brief overview. See how simple this is? I just hit play and show you a video. You see how simple this is? It took me less than 10 minutes to give you a presentation. That's how I get so many people enrolled in the business. Like, that's it? That's it. How simple is that? Because the longer your presentation, the more they're going to forget. Our body only retains about 7% of the information that we hear. Y'all will not remember half the stuff that I say today, unless you're taking notes or you watch the recording. It is what it is. So that's the thing. It is like, even if you screw up, who cares? They're not going to remember. There's times that I've said things on stage. I'm like, holy crap, I can't believe I said that. It's embarrassing, but by this time next year, nobody will remember. Nobody remembers it. And my wife, she brings it up occasionally still, but nobody else does. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? We're human. We're not perfect. So don't think that you got to go practice a million times. Just go with it. Just have fun with it, guys. And you'll get better and better and better every single time. You've heard me say this before. Whoever holds the clicker gets paid the quickest, because then you don't have to rely on anybody else's time frame. So at the end of the day, just go out and just do it. The Nike logo, just do it. Just do it and do it and do it and do it until the job gets done. The difference between the person that makes $500,000 a year over the person that makes $100,000 a year, they just do it a little bit more. That's all it is. They just do it a little bit more. If you ever, what's called Art Williams, go look up Art Williams tonight. Just do it. Art Williams, just do it. Literally, it'll make you laugh, because that's pretty much what he says in every scenario. And after you watch it, send me a message and tell me what you thought of that video. Art Williams, A-R-T Williams, just do it. It's like a 5-minute video. It's not that long, but it's hilarious. And it's very motivating too as well, and inspiring, because you just got to go do it. And the person that is going to make it to the top, to crown diamond in this group, it's just because they just did it a little bit more. That's all they did. Because you already know the scripts. You already know the process. You just got to do it. And you got to do it and do it and do it until the job gets done. All right, guys, let's jump off. I hope y'all have a great Tuesday night. And I look forward to chatting with y'all next Tuesday. Y'all take care. God bless.